Welcome to Brainwreck. I'm Jason X.
And I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the best show on the internet.
The final one ever.
Final one.
The last one we're going to do.
Ever?
No
We're
more.
done?
Well, no.
This is it?
Just for this year.
Oh, fuck. You scared me, bro. I
well-
thought you were moving on. You've been booking all sorts of wrestling on other channels, and I thought you were fucking giving me the boot.
I mean, listen, I might have some more bookings coming up just after the new year, so my availability might be a little tight. So if you need me, make sure you get a hold of me, schedule stuff, get in my calendar, give me the deets.
Mm-hmm.
My DMs are open, just wide open. Just come on in, move around, get cozy, hit me up.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'll say organized because Santa came through for your boy this year. Okay.
Oh, did he now?
Santa came through with your boy this year. He knows my kink. He got me a brand new planner.
Look,
So
every fucking year, without fail, with the planner.
without fail,
Good for you.
I gotta say, listen, I'm not saying. I was a little startled.
Oh,
When I opened up the gift and I saw that, I was like, I didn't want to do this in front of the kids, but you know what? We're here,
Santa baby.
and I'll be prepared.
Yeah.
So we'll cross reference dates. We'll get everything written down.
Okay.
In dry ink,
Yeah.
as they say, and
dry it in the ink.
Anyway, what are we doing?
Off to a great start.
So it is the end of this godforsaken year, 2021.
Oh, yes.
This is our end of year wrap up, combined with our goals for 2022.
Yeah.
This is a pre-recorded episode
Yep.
because you went back to hell.
I don't have COVID, guys.
That's great.
It's great.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't get COVID. I think we had a little scare.
Little scare.
We being vaccinated and having just gotten the booster, we went out and participated in some celebrations with some people we knew, and a few days
Shame on
later, shame. What do you mean shame?
Well, you exposed yourself, metaphorically.
Listen, I always am. Listen, if I'm ever gonna expose myself, it's always gonna be under certain circumstances. And as long as there's consent around, but everybody consented.
Of course, consent is key.
And so we all met up, we hung out, we had a great time. And then on Monday, one of the people we were with was just like, hey, I tested positive for COVID. And then we were like, well, shit, we have a trip in a week. And we also really wanted to do some holiday celebrations. But, we did what, we felt was responsible, which was we quarantined ourselves. We went out and we got tested. We also got rapid tested. So far, so good. All the results came back as negative. So the trip, remains as planned. So we'll be heading back to the good old 315 here by the time you're watching this, dude.
Brutal.
I had to go buy boots today. And let me tell you something. I don't remember the last time I was that frustrated.
Okay. Were they cowboy boots?
I should have bought cowboy boots, in all honesty.
How you have lived in Texas for 3 fucking years? How have you not bought cowboy boots?
You know what? Maybe I'll return the boots that I bought and go buy myself some cowboy boots before we go. You know what? I should. But then I got to buy boot cut pants. So that's just adding to the expense. And
you wear cowboy boots and cargo shorts. Get with it.
Brother, I'm going to hell in a few days. It's going to be cold.
True.
Listen, hell is not hot. Hell is cold. I just want everybody to know that.
That's true. It freezes all the time.
It's just cold flames. That's all it is. But I don't know. Outside of the cowboy boot variety, very difficult to buy, a nice pair of winter boots under, $80 here in Austin, Texas.
Sure, it's a rarity.
Very much a rarity. I had very little interest in spending a number in the triple digits on a pair of boots that I was going to wear for a week.
Keep the tags on. Return those bitches.
I thought about it. Honestly, I also thought about, because these boots are almost guaranteed to fall apart by the time I get back.
Well, yeah, it's Syracuse. They don't stand a chance.
But I just show back up. I'm like, listen, I wore these boots 5 times, and this is what happened.
And this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
What is this? You know, like give it. I want my money back, and they'll probably only give me store credit, which is fine because you know I could probably use a new pair.
As long as it's not like Payless somewhere that's going to go out of business, you know. Like as long as you put your money into somewhere that's like stable, like Amazon or fucking Walmart.
Amazon. Oh my god. But yeah, so I got my boots. Got a couple jackets left. Although one of them did just fall apart, so that was unfortunate. It was funny because we went out to the movie. This was like a month or two ago. We went out to the movies.
Okay.
And I put on like my favorite jacket. You know, I hadn't worn it in a while, so I was like, it's
right,
good.
Which is your Devil Within hoodie. I know. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. I was like, it's good.
But mine's quality, so it didn't fall apart. So it wasn't that, you asshole. What'd you wear?
It was just like one of my leather jackets and faux leather. And I'll be honest, it was a Marshall's pickup. It was $50.
Well, I mean, save the animals.
Exactly. Where would I wear?
It's like that fucking Bare Naked Lady song.
1 week?
No, that other one.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Not a real fur coat. That's cruel.
Not a real fur coat. Okay. But like we went out and like as I'm walking around, I look over and like I see some like wrinkling in the sleeve. I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. And then like I rub it, and as I rub it, like I just take a layer of material off, and I was like, that's not good.
No.
And then like I'm looking around and I'm just like seeing like little cracks and tears. And I'm like, something's wrong here. We go, we sit, we watch the movie. Towards the end of the movie, I like brush my pants and there's just like flakes all over my pants. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look over and literally from my pit all the way down to the waist, it's just like all the material just disintegrated. It was like this jacket didn't get exposed
better
to
days.
air. Oh yeah, I threw it away in the theater. I just took it off and threw it in garbage.
The star of many plays.
So I've running low on jackets now too, so it's great. But
okay,
got
right,
enough.
and it's jacket season.
It is jacket season. Well, I mean, it was 80 degrees and sunny today here in Texas. So I got to wear shorts and a tank top all day. So that was wonderful. And in about 3 days, I'll be, chilly, ankle deep in snow, walking around in some slush, and wearing a winter hat.
And regretting every decision you ever made.
Exactly. But you know what? I don't have COVID, and neither does Christy.
There's something to be thankful about.
So
right there.
At the end of the day, it's going to be okay, folks.
You don't have the Optimus Prime.
We don't have. We no Decepticons in here. Not going to be transforming, so we're all good.
You go.
Yep.
This is all built up to say this is a pre-recorded episode, folks. We're recording this the day after Christmas.
The day. Oh yeah, Christmas was yesterday.
Christmas just happened. It was fucking my first Christmas in Florida.
Yeah.
It was 80 degrees outside.
Beautiful, right?
Shorts and a t-shirt over, wearing outside. Took a picture in front of a palm tree.
I saw the photo of you in your Santa hat in front of the palm tree, and I'm like, that's a happy boy right there.
I had a great
that was
Christmas. It was warm. I didn't have to shovel anything off. It wasn't even raining. It was just bright and sunny and beautiful. And I'm like, I don't regret anything for the few hours of Christmas. Like I was like, I don't regret a single thing.
Oh yeah.
So no. There you go. Now, will I regret other things we're going to get into? Because we're going to talk all about 2021. Ooh. And brother, what a fucking year.
It was a spicy year. I mean,
I needed Tums.
I needed Tums, a Pepto, and a lay down. Like that's what I need to just. It
was something to be had. And right before we started recording this, I went back and I watched our episode of our predictions for 2021, kind of our recap of 2020.
Yeah.
I went back and watched that episode, and I don't know if you know this or not, but when we recorded that episode was the same day as the Capitol riot.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh,
so we had a lot to say that day.
That's how the year started.
That's how it started, man.
That happened 12 months ago. Within this calendar year, that like people tried to overthrow the government a few months ago.
Year.
Yeah.
This year. Yep.
What the fuck?
Dude, and it didn't get better.
It did not get better.
There were some, so it started off, we were talking about the Capitol riots. I mean, we talked that was almost a 2-hour episode because we had so much to talk about, and then we had to talk about our hopes and dreams. We had to talk about the things about 2020, you know, our predictions for 2020 that fucking none of them came true because who could have predicted the pandemic?
Who could have predicted
honestly.
the pandemic? Yeah. Well, I think some scientists and health officials did, but, you know.
Nobody listened to them.
Just like just like 9/11.
Well, I mean, if you think there might have been explosives in that building, Tower 7.
Somebody knew something.
You know, we could go down a road. Folks, we never made it to the moon. But what I'm trying to say is we talked about our failures of 2020, not our fault.
Not our fault.
We made predictions for 2021, which we're going to get into in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then we mostly talked about like the Capitol riots were happening. Right. All these, you know, we couldn't wait until Sleepy Joe got into office because things were going to actually get done once he got in there. And here we are at the end of 2021. And I'm just gonna start off the show with some quotes that we said from that from that episode, and will make us look like complete assholes.
Okay.
For what we were saying. The first thing is that Kevin was quoted in saying that number one, we need to stop blaming everything on the year.
Which, you know, I still adhere to.
I don't. Not this fucking year, brother. Fuck 2021. It was worse than my 2020.
I can add to that a little bit. I do think that there is something to be said about a wave of bad luck.
Okay.
To maybe make you think.
A tsunami?
A tsunami of bad luck? Well, you know, every tsunami starts with a wave. So just, you know.
Well, doesn't it always start with an earthquake?
Earthquakes lead to waves, lead to tsunamis.
Right.
And, you know. It's all in the family.
Right.
Yeah, so I think
those were the days.
Oh, those were the days. I think it's fair to sort of look at the year in that aspect and say, like, what the fuck is going on? Like something's not right here. I think it's yeah. I look at it as more as like we are still in some form of okay, maybe we're not actually in control. I take that back. I don't know how I feel about that quote anymore.
No, you should take that one back.
Okay.
I was quoted in saying that things might actually get done with Biden. Boy, was I stupid.
Listen. Okay. Time out. I think we were all a little bit optimistic.
We were optimistic. The Capitol riots had just happened.
The Capitol riots had just happened. We had come off of 4 years of fucking chaos. I can't say that I'm surprised at how things have progressed with politics.
Correct.
This year.
Correct.
I'm not surprised. Am I bummed out? Sure. Am I surprised? Not really. Could I, did I kind of see it coming? A little bit, but I don't regret my choice. I can tell you that much.
Well, no. I mean, let's be honest. Like, as far as I had a bad 2021, and we're gonna talk about it. But at the same time, things could always be worse.
Things could be worse. Could be snowing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it could be snowing.
And I mean,
right there.
Hey, student loan debt wasn't canceled, but it's been pushed to May. So guess what? Fuck you, Great Lakes. You can take that email and shove it up your ass.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but that was my next quote. You said Biden might forgive student debt, so why pay it?
I'm hoping at this point he just forgets student debt is a thing altogether.
Sure.
And it just kind of like a bunch of people are just like, he fell asleep again. Just quick, just hit the delete.
Just take his hand and sign.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
like when Steve Austin used to stun the referee and then take the hand and count the 3 anyway.
and people were like, that's official.
That's what we need.
Yeah, basically.
That's what we need.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, pretty jazzed that student loan debt, payments were pushed back to May of 2022, given a couple of extra months. But at this point, like, how long are we going to do this? Just,
I mean, that's a great question, in general, because like there have been talks about another shutdown,
right?
With the holocron going around and everything like that. And
I'm not even going to correct you.
And how long are we going to do this? Like, honestly, like, I understand, like, we need to protect certain people in society, but at the same time, most people have not recovered from the first one.
No.
And most people probably aren't going to recover from the first one.
No.
So unless there's a fucking plan like goddamn Canada where they're actually going to fucking pay people to do a shutdown, it's not the answer. We tried it. It destroyed everything. Let's not do it again.
Well, yeah, they gotta come at it from a different angle. I mean, just telling everybody, like, you're gonna get a lot of unrest that way. Like, people are gonna get, like, unless you're going to give people something or add some kind of benefit to do that, people aren't gonna accept it. And,
well, there's a great meme going around saying, like, another shutdown, I'm not worried. I got $1,400 last time. And it's like, that was a 6-month shutdown.
Yeah, that was,
like,
yeah,
didn't really work out for anybody. Well, I mean, some people.
There's like, and the thing is the thing I'm really worried about too is, like, there were a lot of industries that benefited from the shutdown. Believe it or not, a lot of industries, and not just the ones you think, like Amazon and those fucks. But when the shutdown came to an end, a lot of those industries started going, well, wait, why aren't things continuing on the same trajectory that they were 6 to 8 months ago? It's like, well, it's a slightly different world now than what it was back then. And I think that there was so much chaos from the outcome of that a lot of businesses like ended up upside down and confused and not really sure like how to pivot. That like now if we go into another shutdown, like I'm almost wondering like what's going to happen on that front of like logistics and shipping and like all in like importing stuff. Like it could get a little bit dicey.
It's not good.
No,
it's not good because trust me, I've talked to a lot of businesses, especially since losing my job, which we'll talk about.
Right.
And they're just like, you can't import anything. You can't import anything. It is out of the question.
The cost of
at this
goods
point
is skyrocketing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to start seeing like, and the shitty thing is you're going to start seeing a lot of price hikes. I mean, like you talk about inflation.
Fucking fucking dollar no more.
I know
it's $1.25.
But like
motherfuckers,
everybody,
what are we doing?
Everybody wants to blame, you know, like the inflation and the costs going up and prices going up on like the whole Biden administration. It's so much more involved than that. Like all of like every year, like a lot of the stuff you're seeing from like the price increases basically started a year and a half ago. That because companies overbought. And then they didn't have anybody to pay for their stuff. And then all the manufacturers were like, we're increasing prices due to demand and due to these logistic nightmares. So now all of these companies got all this inventory and they're like, we can't sell it at a cheaper rate because we're gonna be out on our asses. So it's, you know,
it's a big mess.
This rabbit hole goes deep. We don't really need to get too into it.
No, not basically the moral of the story is 2021 was a motherfuck. Well, I mean, it's well documented on this show. It did not go well for me. Um, you did okay though, right? You did all right.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, here's the thing, and I often go back and forth on this because it's like, well, when you write things down on paper and
On paper.
you kind of look at it like that, I can go, yeah, things are going pretty well. Then, like, you dive deeper into a lot of it, and I'm like, there are certain elements and aspects that could be better. There's certain things that I wish were better. There's certain paths that I wish I could be on. And I think just like knowing a lot of that, knowing that like there are all these other paths and stuff, I'm like, it kind of throws me into this phase of like questioning a lot of things.
Well, you should question everything. To be honest,
ask questions.
We can go to the moon.
So, Jesus Christ. But I mean, yeah, like I can't really say that this was a bad year on paper. I would say.
I will say this about 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It was, number one, the hardest year of my life.
Sure.
Without question.
Oh,
it doesn't.
I believe it.
Does not compare.
No, I would buy that.
Number two, a lot of really fucking good things happened.
Yeah.
In 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, equally, twice as much bad shit happened in 2021.
Yeah.
So overall, it was a horrible fucking year for me, my family, all that kind of shit. But at the same time, a lot of good came out of it too.
Sure.
And it's not even one of those things that you can say like, oh, glass half full, glass half empty. Like, no, it's a fucking losing year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can still look at it and be like, it was a lot of good things happening. One quote that I said in the beginning of the year episode, which I deeply fucking regret, and I'm a big fucking asshole for saying it, is number one, I said, I hope this is a slow year.
Oh, you picked a hell of a thing to do for a slow year. You said you thought it was going to be a slow year, and you moved your family across the country?
No, I said I hope it's a slow year.
You hope it's a slow year, and then you decided to move your family.
By June, I'm like, is this fucking thing over yet?
Oh, my God, brother. What are you... What? Why?
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I had rose-colored fucking everything.
Yeah.
I mean, rose gold was big in 2021. I will say that as a color.
Oh, yeah.
But do we want to just get into the 2021 goals?
I say
at
let's
this point?
do it. Let's do it because
right.
I don't feel good.
No, you shouldn't. So let's start. So I went back and I watched and I wrote everything down.
Right, and I do have I've actually got my notes from this past year's episode.
Okay.
And which also includes some of the notes from the previous year's episode as well.
Perfect. All right, so let's start with you because that's my favorite.
Fuck you. You love doing this shit to me.
What? No, I'm pulling for you. You're a good guy. So your first goal, it says here that you wanted to increase your savings, which meant ending with more than you started with.
I bought a house this year.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Yeah. Which I know was actually one of my other goals.
Actually, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It wasn't, and we're going to get to that next.
Oh, I wrote that down on here. I must... Okay. Yeah, I should have known better. That's on me, because, like...
Okay.
Okay, you know what, though? This isn't entirely my fault.
Passing the buck. Okay, let's hear this.
No, it's not. No. I'm going to say it's not. I can't get too involved into it, or I can't get too into it. All I'll say
Okay.
is it's not entirely my fault. However, I will say that there was more likely a chance that this was not going to happen based on the fact that I bought a house this year and I went on a cruise.
Right.
So this was just a bad goal to have.
It's not a good one.
It was not a good goal to have. Yeah.
I thought it was doomed from the start.
That was a losing
was I
situation. I was very optimistic with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so.
I think I think for me it was because at that point in my life, I had the most money I had ever had in my life.
Oh, okay.
And then
so you're like, let's keep this
let's keep
McDuck going.
Yeah, and I mean, like, shortly after that, we had the stock market skyrocketing. Game stocks
right.
We're going through the roof.
Did that happen
this
year? That happened this year.
It was
fucking
like a month
AMC.
later.
damn
AMC, GameStop, Dogecoin was a thing this year. And then we ended up with NFTs.
For fuck's sake.
Which
I still don't understand.
We're gonna do an NFT. This show is
we
gonna
should.
be on.
We should.
Yeah. Yeah. I think based on I forget where I was going. I really wanted to grow my savings at that point because I was like, this is a nice little nest egg. But then knowing there was also a pending goal of Christy and I wanted to buy a house, and then we bought a house, and then the whole process is very expensive, and then boop, there went all of my money. And I'm now at a point where I'm probably at the lowest amount of money I've ever had in a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but hey, it's good. There's stable. Stable, so it's okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to chalk that up still as a fail.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's okay. I accept the failure.
Because your goal was to end with more than you started with, which I'm assuming did not happen. No. Okay.
Very much no.
So your next goal is going to be tricky.
Oh.
Okay. Because you skipped a step in what you said.
Did I?
Okay. So your goal number 2 was that you wanted to buy a condo to have equity to eventually buy a house.
Okay. So that makes sense. Because originally the game plan was to buy a condo. That was the original discussion. Because we were like, hey, let's buy something small. Right. Because at that point, we were still living in the apartment. So like, we didn't have a lot of stuff. We didn't think that we had a lot of stuff.
Right.
And we were like, let's get into something like of equal size or maybe a little bit bigger.
Sure.
Sit on that for a couple of years, start building equity. Because Christy's like, we're in our 30s now. Let's try to be, adults and
Which, by the way, I didn't realize when I bought a house at 25 that was impressive.
That dude, you were like miles ahead of people at that point.
It's interesting because we kind of had a hiccup buying the first house where I may have transferred money into an account I shouldn't have. Oh. And I had to go into the bank and explain what had happened to get my money back type of thing. And the woman who was at the bank was like, wait a minute, how old are you? And I'm like, 25. She's like, you're buying a house at 25? And I'm like, yeah. Like, sure.
That's not.
And she's like, that's impressive. And I'm like, it is?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Like you guys should be pat yourselves on the back for that. Because
Barry Horowitz myself here.
Give the old Barry, the Barry Horowitz on there. Because that's not a thing that a lot of people in their 20s do.
Right.
Like I know very few people who would have bought a house at that point. Very few.
Right.
Very few.
Well, I owe you the thanks for getting me liquored up to put the offer in. So
listen, I'm just here to be the little devil on everybody's shoulder when it comes to finances.
Well, there you go.
Christy's the angel. She's like, hey, wait a minute. Think about it.
Mm.
Look at your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Talk with an advisor. And me, I'm just
Mm.
like, do you want it?
Treat yourself.
Get it. Shh. It's okay. You don't gotta tell anybody. Just
It'll all be okay.
Just get it. Just get it. Just get it. Get it.
Yeah.
Which did I tell you? Like I Christy asked me like jokingly if she should buy an Audi because she was looking at like at potentially getting a new car soon, and she's like, "What about a car like this?" And I was just like, "Do you like it?" She was like, "Wait, no," and I'm like, "No. Do you like it?"
But do you like it? Hmm?
I mean, if you like it. And then I just walked out the room. So yeah, the original goal was to buy a condo, and we did start looking at condos. We were looking at a few houses. None of them really panned out, but like we were going around town. Like we actually spent like the month of January, almost like every weekend, we did a drive around the city just looking at places. And, you know, there were some decent spots. Like, everything was a little bit smaller than what we wanted. Right. And then we started looking at the potential of houses. Because we were just like, let's just kind of see what's out there. And
skip a step.
Yeah, skip a step. And we actually ended up going and looking at a condo, and we put it in an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up not getting it. However, that same week, Elon Musk tweeted out how big Austin's going to be in the next few years. It's going to be a boom town. Everybody needs to move there because, you know, he wants to blow up the economy to basically fill his factory that's being built down the road. That week is the same week that the winter storm hit.
Oh, that's right.
Or it was going, well, it was, so he tweeted that out, and then if I remember the timeline correctly, he tweeted that out that following weekend, the winter storm hit, because that following weekend was Valentine's Day. And then the week after is when the entire city went to hell, basically, because hell is cold.
As we've established.
And the entire city shut down, and we were like, well, fuck, like, we still want to look at houses and stuff, so we were going on Zillow, checking things out, and everything on the market was going 30-40% above asking, sight unseen, within the day of it being posted. So everything was going super quick, and we ended up finding like a new home development, which is where we're in now. It was one of those situations where it's like, if we want something, we gotta buy now, and this is this is available. It's within our price range, so we were like, fuck it, let's do it. Did it, got it done. Got the house.
So for this one, I'm gonna give you a check mark on this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a check mark on this one.
I got one.
Because
I got one. I got one.
You didn't buy the condo, but you did better.
You
exceeded.
We exceeded, yeah.
Because the condo was to get to a house, and you just skipped a step, and you got the house. Sure. So like, I'm gonna give you the check mark on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, one, I'm not going to give you a check mark. I'm going to give you a big old fucking X on.
What are you talking about?
Because you were the stupid motherfucker that says you were going to learn 2 languages.
I don't know why I said that. Well, I know why I said it. I said it because, you know, and I know exactly what it was. We wanted to learn, or I wanted to learn Japanese, and I wanted to relearn Spanish. I wanted to relearn Spanish because, you know, we do live in an area that's very well populated with Spanish-speaking individuals.
Got a lot of Mexican food?
Great Mexican food. Let me tell you about the parties that were happening this past weekend. Around the neighborhood, it was just
Feliz Navidad.
So fireworks and everything, man. It sounded like it was a great time.
What is with the fucking fireworks,
dude?
Okay, because like, listen, we have sleeping children that like need to fucking go to bed.
This was not
on Christmas Eve.
This was not a thing in New York, right?
No,
this
not
was
at
not
all.
a thing.
Well,
I mean,
first off, you can't get fireworks in New York.
Well, you can't
because
get fireworks
of Cuomo
in New York
and his stupid fucking bullshit, touching ladies and not letting you shoot off fireworks.
I know, fucking asshole. And it's also winter, so
I mean, that's true too.
nobody's waiting outside to watch things explode in the
Exactly.
sky.
You can't put your slippers on and your robe and go
Exactly.
fucking blow off a finger.
So it was fireworks, loud music, sounded like a great time.
Mm-hmm.
One of my cats hated it. He was terrified.
Sure.
Yeah, we have been talking a lot about potentially going to Japan within the next year and a half. So I was like, it would be good
doing that Disney loop
to learn.
that we talk about.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do a Disney loop, brother.
Right.
So I was like, if we go to Japan, I might want to learn Japanese to have some kind of foundation.
Get on the bullet train.
Get on the bullet train. I
Don't
did not
stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Didn't learn either. Did very little to pursue those. That's on me. I also think part of the problem too that I have is I often say I want to do this thing.
Sure.
And then I make no effort to do it.
I mean, that's fair. That's par for Kevin. Yeah.
And I think thanks. And I think more recently I've been really like simmering on that. And I think in my head I'm like, you know what? Like, but why do I want to do these things? And do I actually really want to do them? Like, is this just another thing for me to say I want to do in order to like, achieve some level of, being content? It's like that whole mentality of don't talk about the thing you want to do, just go do it. Because if you get into
that's the key to success.
Because if you get into a situation where you can't start that thing right away, what's going to happen is people are going to say like, "Oh, what do you got going on?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm doing this thing," or I'm learning Japanese because, or I'm going to learn Japanese because I want to go do this thing, or I'm going to start building, this fucking fort in my backyard or whatever, and then you start to get this like endorphin rush of just saying the thing is giving you like the dopamine
to do it.
Instead of doing it.
Oh, instead of doing it.
So you get so it's like you get hooked on just saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this," but then you don't do it, and that's why you often get a lot of people who are like, "I'm going to do this thing," and then they're like, "Great," and then 2 years later they're like, "So how'd that come out?" And you're like, "Well, I'm still planning on doing it."
I took the same piece of advice when doing the comic book because when I was writing the first issue of the comic book, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing it at all. Like, obviously, like the wife knew and stuff like that, but like I didn't post about it. I didn't do anything about it. And then finally, when it was done, I was like, here's the thing I've been working on for 2 fucking years.
Right.
And then it was there and everyone was like, holy shit. Like he fucking did it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So like, it's not always the case of like it does work for some things. Like if you're trying to like lose weight or some shit, like posting your weight every day, like keeps you in check.
Doing
for that sort of thing.
Yeah, like, and it should be said that there is a value in accountability.
Yes, there certainly is.
There's certainly no issue with like putting something or something out there as a means of holding yourself accountable.
Right.
But just bear in mind that you have to accept the fact that you might be an asshole then if you don't actually get it done.
You might up on Thursday show.
You might up on a Thursday show, or you might host one of these shows. Who knows?
That's very true. If not for nothing, these end of the year shows just show how big of a fucking assholes we are by the goals that we set that we don't fucking achieve ever.
Exactly.
So I'm going to chalk that up as a loss for you. It
was a loss for me in my part, yeah.
On the language one. This one, though, the next one, you might get a check mark in this one, buddy. You might have done it.
Oh?
You have to update us on it. You want to obtain more marketing certifications.
I did get a certification this year.
All right, that's a check mark. That's in the win column for you there.
And I'm currently in the process.
Okay.
It's not going to be this year. I'm currently in the process of maybe taking some more in-depth classes.
Okay, well, that's worked out for you so far.
Got a master's,
You sure do.
Yeah.
It's not a running joke on the show or anything.
No. But no, there are some more in-depth certifications and some programs around here that you can do. A couple things I'm looking into in terms of like project certifications. So stuff that really can boost your skill set if you got it under your tool belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna give you the win on that one.
Hey, all right, I got 2.
These next 2 though,
I had 2
one
more.
I know for sure. Yeah, one I know for sure you didn't do.
Okay.
But this one you might have done. Create a routine.
Kind of. I mean, I started fasting.
I mean,
which
okay.
Which,
well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second. How you doing on it?
I came into this weekend knowing I wasn't going to do it. Listen, it's Christmas.
Okay.
It's Christmas, man. Give yourself a break.
I will say I ate way too much dairy yesterday.
Dude, brother, I have been dropping Yule logs like crazy for the past 3 days.
Dude, brother, it's been rough.
It's just been peanuts and fucking. I made these peanut butter cookies that are the bomb. Christy made an actual Yule log, and it is huge.
Oh shit!
And we're leaving in 3 days. So I bought way too much food this week.
I saw the spread. I was impressed.
Brother,
and then I was like, oh wait, there's only 2 of them.
She was like, this is enough food for 12 people. I was like, I know. And it was great too, because like Christmas Eve, we basically is when we started all the food prep and stuff. And like out on the counter, I had a box of brownie mix and 3 different types of cookie mix. And I was like, which ones do you want? And she's like, what? And I was like, pick 2. And she was like, what? And I was like, which one of these would you like for Christmas? So we went with the peanut butter. But yeah, we made way too much food. And then for like the last 3 days, I've just been snacking nonstop. I tried making like 3 dozen deviled eggs. Like
3 dozen?
Yeah. Listen, I like deviled eggs.
Why?
Because I like deviled eggs, and they're a good holiday treat. And we do them a bunch of different ways.
3 dozen deviled eggs?
We did like, I cut it in half. I only did like a baker's dozen. I did. I think I did like 15 eggs, so that's like 30. You know, when you split them in half, you get 30. And then there was like 4 left last night. And then I go to Christy.
There was like 4 left.
I was like, you had some of these, right? And she's like, yeah, I had a couple. I'm like, what do you mean you had a couple? She's like, I had a couple. And I was like, I have a problem.
I'm ashamed.
Well, you know, it was a long day. You know, we woke up early.
Right.
You know, we put the best. Okay, this is another good thing. So breakfast, I was like, all right, like we're gonna cook up some bacon. I'm gonna cook up some English muffins. I was like, how do you want your eggs? I was like, you want them scrambled?
Deviled?
And she's like, what do you mean scrambled eggs? I was like, you want some scrambled eggs? And she's like, we have deviled eggs. We made them for today. I was like, yeah, but those are for later. And she's like, how many eggs do you want to eat today? And I was like, I guess not many. And I still ate a lot. But you know, but no, the fasting, I will say the fasting has been very good because it has given me, at the very least, it's taught me a lot about the way that I eat. Because listen, I am a man who loves his food. I make no qualms. Like, I wake up, I like to eat right before bed. I like to eat. My favorite snack is like a turkey sandwich, a helping of chips, a pint of milk. I eat like a third grader. You know, when I'm like there were times after this show where I would just go down and like make a lunch for myself, and it's 10:30 at night.
That's crazy.
I know. I had a problem. And then you had been talking up this fasting thing for so long. And I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot.
It works.
And I will say it has allowed me to identify the issues within my diet. And I know a lot of people are like, well, hang on, eat what you want, do what you want. It's your diet as long as you're happy. And it's like, that's fair. I get that. But, stay out of this. Because they're right away, what I realized was I'm eating too much, like at an individual, at like a very individual time. And because when I started fasting, I wasn't thinking just eat how you would normally eat during this time period. I was like, eat how I would normally eat throughout the day. So it was like 10 o'clock would roll around and I would have breakfast, and then 11 o'clock would roll around and I'd have lunch, and then I'd have like snacks in between, and then I'd be going to the gym. So I'd have a snack before the gym, and then I'd come home and I'd have dinner, and I would still feel very terrible.
Right.
And I was like, don't eat all of that. So I started taking away a lot of the meals, and then I was still overpacking the meals I was eating. And I was like, scale that back. And then we had even like a couple of weekends ago, we went out to dinner, and I got this huge dinner. It was like a giant burrito, and I ate 3/4 of it. And I go to Christy. I was like, don't ever do that again.
All right. Okay. That's where you need to start to get to.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And I was at that point where I was like, you know what? Like, maybe I'm at a point where I would rather eat less food and then need to eat again later.
Right.
Than cram everything into one meal. And that's what I was doing. And I'm at the point now where I think I've got that worked out. Christmas was excluded from all of that. I knew what I was getting myself into the day of.
Sure. Fucking 24 fucking eggs.
Christy still reined me in, though, as much as she could.
Okay, that's good. It's good to have accountability.
So I feel like with that, I've been able to build a good diet routine. I will say my gym routine has gone complete to shit.
Okay.
So
I'm going to give you an X on this one because you specifically mentioned a gym routine.
Yeah. It wasn't my fault,
talking about getting a routine, so.
Not my fault.
Okay.
It's been a stressful quarter.
But it is good. It's good to hear that the fasting has at least let you realize that a little bit about yourself. You learn something.
Yeah.
And that's good. Me personally, I need to get back on the fasting routine. I mean, things really went to hell after the cruise. Like when you're on the cruise, you're like, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna splurge a little bit. I'm gonna eat more than I'm normally gonna eat. I want to get my money's worth. That kind of thing.
Like I don't know what happened, but like after the cruise, I feel like everything was just set at like 3x speed.
Yeah.
And the time just flew the fuck by.
It flew by, and it was just like leading up to the cruise was right before the cruise was the 2CW reunion shows.
Right.
In 2021, and I was the leanest I had ever been in my adult life.
It looked good.
Ever.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm like, all right, the shows are over. It's vacation mode, this, that, and the other thing. And like I've packed on more weight and stuff like that since then. I mean, I'm still not above 210. So like I'm still happy.
Sure.
Where I am. I would like to get back down to where it was.
Yeah.
Type of thing, which we're going to get into the 2022 goals in a little bit. But at the same time, like I have to look back at 2021 and be like, I was the leanest I've ever been. I was the best looking I've ever been, at that point. And it's just the cruise and the cruise was, I mean, Brain Wreck Cruise was a huge accomplishment for us. Let's be honest. Like,
oh yeah,
like it got put off for years.
Great time though.
And it was a hell of a time, and we all had fun, and we all had fucking lasting memories. And we have a vlog. Go watch that vlog.
Go watch that vlog
right now and go take a look at it. Fucking, and I think it like, and I don't want to speak for everybody because I'm just speaking for me at this point. But like, you can feel free to chime in. Like, I really feel like we got to make a group vacation at least once a year a thing.
I'm down for that. Yeah,
because it's a hell of a time.
It's a hell of a time.
It doesn't disappoint. Like ever.
No, and
So,
I mean, like it's been great these past 2 years. So
let's just keep it going.
let's keep it rolling.
Which is actually another thing we're going to talk about 2022
Okay.
that I've got written down. But
Okay.
we got to get through year
Oh,
2021.
God damn
Your
it! I'm
very
still
last
going.
goal.
Shit.
Your last call. And boy, are you a fucking asshole for saying this one. Your last goal for 2021 was just to figure it out.
You can just go ahead and put an accent next to that one.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you meant by that, but
Yeah. I think I did. I think at the time I did.
sure.
But like now I'm just like, no, that means nothing.
That doesn't mean a thing.
You're never going to have it figured out.
Let's see. So out of your 6 goals, you accomplished 2. I don't know what the ratio. Christy, you're gonna have to do the math on that in the chat. But you're not betting 1,000 per se.
Not 1,000. No.
Not 500 either.
Not 500. No. It's a little low. I probably could have
a little
set
low.
better goals for myself. In all honesty.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I might have done worse than you.
Really?
So
I thought you
we're gonna go.
Well, yeah. Let's hear
I
yours.
thought I only had 1 goal, and then listening back to myself, I'm like, what an asshole I was.
I was gonna say because the other week when you said, "Oh, I only had the 1 goal," I was like, "What? Really?
That's not true."
Yeah.
I thought I only had 1 goal. Okay. I was wrong.
Okay.
And boy, did it not work out.
All right. Well, hit us with
for most of the things I said. So the first thing, and I'm gonna put a big old fucking check mark right here. The number 1 goal of 2021 was to move to Florida.
Look at you.
And I'm here.
You got it done.
I was outside on Christmas by a palm tree.
Yeah, I've been to your house.
I did it. You've been to my house.
There. I believe
my first house.
Yeah.
Hopefully not anymore. We saged it.
Hopefully not anymore.
We'll
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, funny story.
Yeah.
So we saged the house, and like things have not completely fallen apart in the house since we saged the house. But the wife, we were doing a deep clean for Christmas because the wife family was coming over and stuff like that. We found a drawer in the bathroom that exploded that we had not cleaned out yet, and there was just bloody gauze in the drawer.
That came with the house?
That was from the previous owners. Among all the other things we've talked about that have happened in that house that lend credence to a domestic situation.
Did you burn them?
Oh, I mean, like it's no longer in the house.
Good.
And Lysol has been used.
Maybe like that's
so like
you should get some salt and just start like salting all the corners of your house.
Oh, they're on every window.
Good.
So like we're trying to keep the spirits at bay.
I feel like what you need to do is like you really need to go like top to bottom, inside and out. Just like look for stuff that was left over from the previous owner and then just burn it all. Because kind of like that whole Supernatural thing where like they got to find like the lock of hair that like, you know, the father kept from the kid who the kid's now haunting the school bus, and they got to burn the hair so that the ghost finally dissipates and goes. You just got to do that.
Well, we got a whole attic full of shit. There's like a unicycle up there.
You need to get all of that out of your house now. Like, well, joke.
Okay, well, brother, we gotta get some money to rent a dumpster. All right, so we're working on that. We'll get there. We'll get there.
It's Florida. Just put it all on the curb. Say it's free.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, if I can make some money off of it, Lord help us. You know. All right, but anyway, got a big old check mark for moving to Florida. Mm-hmm. The next one is interesting because you're gonna have to be the final judge on this one. Okay. So I wrote I wanted to balance my hobbies with my personal life better and not let work get in the way of family. I lost my job.
I was gonna say work's not getting in the way now.
So that's a check.
So wait, but you wanted a balance of what?
Balance my hobbies with my personal life better.
You wanted to balance your hobbies
Yeah, so
and your
when I was
personal life, or like
so when I was talking
right,
on the show, we were still in the mix of the pandemic, and the
right,
kids had not gone back to school yet.
right,
So the idea was that the kids are home all the time so that there's not that like family time
right,
anymore because the kids are always home.
sure,
So basically, we ended up moving. And when we moved, listen, folks, Florida's open. All right. They're
yeah,
open
it's
for
open, yeah,
business. So like the kids went back to school
mm-hmm.
and but it's so hard. Like this one's kind of like it's like such a situational thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really decide whether I achieved it or not because like I I still have hobbies. I don't have a job. The kids are back in school. I don't really know where this one stands. Like this one's not really a win or a loss. It's just like non-applicable
Right.
anymore.
I feel
It's a weird
I
one.
feel like you could go neutral on this one because
Mhm.
I feel like you are doing more things that apply to your hobbies and the things you like.
Mhm.
So like yes in that regard, but like maybe there's like not like a defined balance perhaps.
Yeah, I mean it's chaos here. So like
So okay.
I don't know what that speaks of.
Okay.
This next one is shameful.
Oh.
Uh
Okay.
to be perfectly honest. Um this one is don't miss a month of the Blakely K sewing channel.
Oh.
And there was not a video put up this year on that channel.
I thought something just got posted.
Well, we posted something that I did for her Instagram.
Yeah.
Like we're like we have these like Instagram videos where like they
Oh,
might as well go
well,
up on the
yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there are like 4 or 5 full-on fucking videos that are well, one of them's like mostly done, but like the rest of them aren't started yet.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
like that really fell by the wayside, and I feel really bad about that. But we also had so many things going on
You were a
at
bit
the same
preoccupied.
time.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm really sad about that. But I'm really hoping to rehab that channel
Mm-hmm.
going forward because, like I said, we do have one that is mostly done,
Yeah.
so that will hopefully get put up very very soon.
There you go.
Um, this one I can put a check mark by, which I'm very excited about.
Okay.
Start a vlog of living in Florida.
Hey, you did it.
State of Sunshine.
New episode
May not
dropped
be the
recently.
most recently, may not be the most up to date vlog, but you know what? It's there.
It's there. You did a couple
And
episodes.
God damn it, I need a win.
Yeah.
So, this next one is also a neutral one. It says finished productions that have started. So, like, yes and no.
It's been
Like, I
undefined.
finished some.
Yeah.
Others are still in the works.
Okay.
One of them that was specifically noted on the last or the beginning episode of this year were the videos for the 2CW reunion show.
Okay. Okay.
Those did get done, so like I can chalk that up.
Mm-hmm.
I also did some other like things that weren't started at the beginning of the year, but did during the year as well. So like those did get done,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also productions that were filmed previous that are not done.
Sure.
So like it's I don't know that I can technically say that I accomplished that goal or not.
Yeah. Maybe that's an open-ended goal.
I mean, brother,
Brother,
it's always open.
It's fair. It's very fair.
And then the last one, which is really sad, was to try to recoup the comic book business,
Right.
and that's a big old X. That did not happen. That did not happen for a number of reasons. Mainly because I lost my fucking job and didn't have any money to do it. But and that is it. And I accomplished. I got 2 out of 6.
2 out of.
So we're doing great.
Equal. Hey, you know what? At least nobody won.
Nobody won.
Nobody won.
This is a losing year, folks.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, for
hopes
fuck's
and
sake.
dreams, strikes and spares. You know, it's
So I think at this point, I want you to give me your overall thoughts of 2021.
Exhausting.
This
was an exhausting year.
It really was. Really
I mean,
was.
I as shitty as 2020 was, I don't know if it was exhausting necessarily. I think it was.
I don't think so. It was so uncertain.
Yeah.
It was so uncertain that you were kind of like on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Like every day.
You could,
because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. You could call it mentally draining.
Right.
But I think that there was a lot that was sort of set in place that just sort of forced people to have to take a step back.
Right.
And just sort of accept it and just sort of fit into this, like, things are stable, this is fine, this is what it's going to be. Whereas this year, I feel like there was a lot of effort put in. A lot of times it went nowhere.
Brother.
A lot of disappointment, a lot of just unfortunate events, and just, you know, just more going on that just led to a greater deal of exhaustion. Because, like, I'm fucking tired.
Brother, I'm exhausted.
Mentally,
I can second that. Yeah.
Mentally, I am drained. Physically, I feel worn down. You know, like I'm at the point where I gotta go get some things checked on next year because I'm like, this is something ain't right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a fair assessment. I'm very torn about this year.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm talking about the good things, if we're trying to look at the good things, like, I accomplished my major goal.
You did.
Of moving to Florida. Moving in itself took like 3 years off my life. Like,
sure.
Between trying to sell the old house, dealing with this shady fucking realtor that I was forced into to sell my house, then Blakely K coming down here by herself to find a house and was just like, hey, I like this one. And me being back in Syracuse being like, all right, well, I trust you.
Right.
You know, taking that leap of faith, which I still, after everything that's happened, I still really like this house.
Yeah.
So, like, that worked out very well. Actually getting down here, getting everything established, knowing that you're going into like a fixer-upper situation is never good because, you know, you've got all these hopes and ambitions, and as they say, you never know what's behind them walls.
No.
And sometimes behind them walls is a fucking Indian curse that, like, takes everything out of that you have. So, like, that happens sometimes.
Right.
And then, but also, like, being here, being in Florida is so much better than being in Syracuse.
Sure.
Like, I have done so many more things just being here than I've ever done in any of the years I've ever lived in Syracuse ever. I've gone to festivals. I've gone to Disney at least 15 fucking times this year.
Sure.
I went to Legoland for the first time this year. I've made new friends. I've gotten closer with other friends.
Yeah.
Like, it is just like that sort of stuff, like, makes moving here worth all the fucking heartache and everything else that goes with it to actually be here. then you kind of look at the negative side of things. Like, A, like anything that we've tried to fix in this house has exploded on us
Mm-hmm.
and it's completely gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
B, even after getting permission to move here from my job, they betrayed me and fired me anyway.
Yep.
I can't find a new job. I can't get unemployment. I just barely got health insurance. And then on top of that, like, we've depleted most of the savings that we were going to have to fix up the house because
Mm-hmm.
I can't get fucking unemployment and I lost my job.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's that too. And it's such a weird fucking balance of like extremely good fucking things and extremely bad fucking things flip-flopping one another all the fucking
Right.
time
Right.
that you're like, I don't know what to fucking think
It's
about
so, yeah.
2021.
It's and like that's kind of like what I was saying at the top of the show about, like when you write things down on paper, like
Mm,
things are going well. For
mm,
me, realistically, it's like I've got a
right.
job, I've got the income, we just bought a house, but then like there were like so many. For me, it's like more like just so many of these little things
Mhm.
that just kind of like fill into all these little cracks and crevices, and they just like sort of sit there and fester. So it makes you think. It makes you go, well, wait, like how did this year actually go? And I think it's
Right.
I think it's the type of situation where you've really got to take a step back and go, what matters more?
Ah.
Is, does this shitty situation truly outweigh, this great thing that happened? Is the
Mhm.
is the fact that I'm living in a place that's sunny, it's warm, the weather is
Mhm.
beautiful most of the time, outweigh, being stuck at home all the time.
Mhm.
It's like one of those things. You kind of got to like write everything down and look at it, compare and contrast, and just say like, what means more? Like, how much weight do you give to each individual item?
It's true too. And then there's other things that depending on how you look at them
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing or a bad thing.
Right.
Like for instance, this year I got back into professional wrestling.
You did.
I found a school
Yeah.
when I moved down here in Florida. I go there on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
I'm able to impart this fucking useless knowledge that I've gained over 10 fucking years of doing this goddamn business to some kids. And I'm like, "Hey, when did you started wrestling?" And they're like, "When Punk ended or started with Nexus." And I'm like, "Holy fuck, I don't know what to say to that." Like, I have no idea what to say to that.
Right.
So, like, I'm able to pass on a little bit of this knowledge. We did the 2CW reunion shows, which went off really fucking well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Moose didn't make out so good. He got fined $1,000, but, like, what are you gonna do?
Hey.
But those went really well. And then it's like, but at the same time, like, oh man, my knees hurt again. And then, oh man, like, oh, my back kind of hurts more type
Yeah.
of thing. So, like, you kind of take the good, take the bad.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like, the wrestling thing, like, inspired me to stay in shape.
Right.
So, like, what are you going to do?
What are you
You
gonna
got,
do?
it's a trade off.
Yeah.
So, is it mostly good? Is it mostly bad? It's hard to say.
Yeah. 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 I think in that case, it's probably mostly good.
I would for the first time ever, wrestling is actually mostly good. So like
Yeah.
there's that
Yeah.
as well.
It was a little, started to get a little itchy there.
Oh, happens, brother. Trust me.
Getting a little been cooped up for a little while, and
I might get you booked.
there's a couple places down here that does some stuff.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to go check it out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, there's one guy in particular that I've been thinking about shooting an email out to.
Shoot that email.
Yeah.
At the worst, you go down and see it.
Yeah, very least. So,
Very least. So, I mean, I have to chalk. I mean, for everything that has happened, I have to chalk this up as a bad fucking year. It's a bad fucking year.
sure.
But that doesn't mean that good things didn't happen.
Oh, I mean, totally.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, people who watch this show, I think, have an idea of how your year went. You know,
you can follow along.
you
Week
can follow
by week.
along. Hit that subscribe button. Get the updates.
We didn't. Did we only miss like 1 week this year? I think we only missed like 1 week. This year.
I think last year and this year have been like our most consistent. I'd have to go back, but like there may have been like one or like I feel like we missed a couple of weeks, but not a lot. I mean, and
Not a lot.
and it was like reasonable. It was like, hey, something came up super last minute, or like
Right.
somebody was
We were on a
sick, or just
cruise.
I mean, but like we even did fillers for those.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I think we've been pretty consistent for this year.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah.
So now that brings us to 2022.
Yeah.
It's an even year. And I feel like it better be a better year. I don't know what to say. But it is that time for us to make the goals that make us look like fucking assholes at the end of the year. And since we just went over mine, I think we need to start with yours for 2022. What have you got for us this year coming up? I'm so excited.
I'm gonna be more in the moment. No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was gonna say, what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly.
Holy fuck.
Come on, it's like the trend for me every year. Like I give these fucking indecisive bullshit goals. Like I'm gonna be more decisive.
Last year, I will say, we said this on the show, was like the first year you had solid concrete
goals. Yeah. So I think I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I think what I need to do for myself is not have like just a very like how do I want to say this? I need to have a significant like deadline with these.
Okay.
Like I need to have something that I can work towards. Like it's like, because like learning a language, what's the timetable for that? What do you get out of it when you're done?
Right.
Like when do you start? When do you end? What's the outcome going to be? So
I like this.
And I think that's part of why, I kind of had that thought of like, do I actually want to do this? So what I'm trying to do more of is when I set these goals and I come up with these things is I'm going to, I want to have some kind of greater goal in mind. Like these are smaller like elements to a bigger thing. So one of the things I want to do this year is I want to produce 2 additional videos for this channel every month.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like that.
It could be a live stream. It could be an additional live stream because I've been talking about trying to do. I have a slew of ideas for games and stuff that I want to play. I've got a couple.
Your gaming streams are really good. Like the fact that you don't do more is a shame.
It is, and I actually just I responded to a very nice comment today from a person who had a lot of great things to say about one of the streams I did for Retromania. Like I think it was last year or earlier this year. God, that game actually may have come out this year. Fuck. It's been a long year. But yeah, I want to produce 2 additional pieces of video content for this channel every month.
Okay.
That is a goal I want to have. Keeping that in mind, I want to be able to get back into the gym regularly at least 4 times a week.
4 times a week.
Dude,
that's bold.
Well, brother, I used to go every day.
Okay.
Every day. I know with my schedule now, that might even be tricky because part of what happened this year was like we ended up having like a Monday thing that I wasn't going to have time to go after work. I fucked up my arm at some point this year, which I actually not really a goal, just more of something I need to do. I need to find a doctor.
Yeah, you
I
do.
need to find a doctor and get myself
You
looked
got
at.
health insurance.
Yeah,
Take
I
care
got
of that
health. Yeah,
shit, man.
I should start using that. So like getting a
Yeah.
doctor, probably I make some calls in January. So I'm gonna have a doctor, a dentist, and maybe a therapist.
Wouldn't hurt.
All three. Treat myself. Um, get all that done. But no, I want to get back into the
Yep.
gym at least 4 times a week. I want to push towards that. But also with that goal, I want
Mhm.
to be okay with missing a day. Because
Ah.
so part of I'm a person who very much likes routine. So that's why I was talking last year about wanting to create a routine, because I feel like that's when I
Sure.
operated the best. However,
Right.
if I ever broke from that routine, I would just be miserable. I'd be grumpy. I'd be a little
Mm.
piss boy,
Okay.
like just very pissy and annoyed.
Sure.
There have been a lot of times more recently where I've planned to go to the gym and then something's come up and I've had to miss going to the gym. And I
Mhm.
just get frustrated and angry. With the goal of going 4 times a week, I want to make sure that if there are days where I need to miss a session, that I'm
Mhm.
not I need to accept that. So kind
Okay.
of be
Okay.
accepting of that. Um,
Sure.
I I don't know that I want to make any other goals.
It's hard. It's
it
hard.
is
I
hard.
was
I mean,
struggling
like
before the show.
I'm not focusing on anything related to money, because like
Okay.
there's never an end to that. Like there's never an end to
There
that.
really isn't.
There's
And a
yeah,
career goal doesn't work out for you.
and a career, yeah, and very much no. Um, and I think what I really want to try to focus on more this year is getting back into doing more content development, because
Mhm.
that is something that I always enjoyed doing, but
Mhm.
but I got to a point where I stopped giving myself time to do that. And
Okay.
so like the doing the 2 videos a month, what that's going to hopefully fulfill is, number one, that enjoyment of being able to create content again, and
Love it.
also helping this channel grow.
Yes.
Because I think that this channel, I mean, like, we talk about it a lot. We want this channel to grow. We have a lot of great ideas. That this started as just a random podcast in a basement that we would do once a week just to shoot the shit and like air our grievances. Like that is how this sort of
Yes.
sort of spun out. And then it got to a point where it was like, well, we could do some live streams, and then we could do Am I the Asshole, the Am I the
Yeah.
Asshole stuff, and Don't Be an Asshole, and then you can do your vlogs, and it kind of became a more of an outlet for like this creative, because like we're both very creative people,
Yes.
but like we don't have an outlet for that all the time. And I
Mhm.
feel like this was sort of that, fucking lightning rod of like, just send everything here,
Right.
and like that's how we can grow. And I think that's something else I realized too recently is I've become more inbound with stuff, where like
Okay.
I got to a point where I think I started doing less because I was becoming more reliant on things coming into me, rather
Oh,
than doing
okay.
output.
Sure.
I
Sure.
want to do more to increase my output. That's really my big goal for 2022, is increase the output. So I'm
I
starting
like it.
with the 2 videos a month, the 4 gym sessions a week. I'm going to keep up with the fasting, and I'm going to
Mhm.
continue
Right.
to revise that as we go forward. And I guess in January I'll find a doctor, a dentist, and a therapist. We'll see how that
You
goes.
should. You should. You should. Sir, I normally mock you
Mm-hmm.
and tell you you're a fool on most of the things you do. I am extremely proud of you
Hey, yeah.
for that type of goal. Increase the output.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That is a motto that I fucking live by. I love putting out content.
Mm-hmm.
It drives most of the decisions I make
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
can I film this and make it content? Then yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, man.
So kudos to you. That is very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
But I would
So
say the kind of tying into all that output, I want us to get 1,000 subscribers.
that is a channel goal.
That's a channel goal. That's a
That's
big ass lofty goal. That's about we're at like 130 something now.
so it's almost 100% increase.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
No.
the 0 to the end, right? 10%. Chrissy, where are you? I need help.
It's okay. We need to average about 100 subscribers a month.
And we're gonna need some content.
We're gonna need some fucking content, man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if like you do your 2 a month, and like if State of Sunshine keeps going, and we keep doing other things, like we got a Girl Pockets that we're
Girl
working on to
Pockets.
get out in the can.
That's
That
gonna
will
take the
come out.
world by storm. I
It
guarantee.
really will.
We're gonna hit 1,000 subscribers by June.
Don't say that.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Scratch that. Scratch that from the record, please.
Right. Right. So I commend you.
Thank you.
That is a fantastic list.
I'm also trying to be reasonable.
An optimistic list.
Yeah.
It's reasonable, and it's on you.
Yeah.
Like if you do the work, you can do it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Those are things that I can control too.
Absolutely. And that is the key to a successful list is putting things on there that you can control.
Yep.
I did not do that.
No. What do you got going?
For Michael? The number one goal for Axe 2022 is find a job.
Let's do it.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
Coincides with goal number 2. Don't lose the house.
There you go.
So we got that.
We got that.
Those are some big ones.
Yeah.
For 2022. On top of that, and on top of not losing the house, I have remodel at least one room in the house to where it doesn't fall apart afterwards.
There you go.
So we got an insurance claim. Hopefully that pays out pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
Going on. This one is interesting because with everything that had happened, with losing the job, with losing health insurance and things of that nature, there were some things that I had that helped me with this, but are not there anymore. And I need to be able to do this better. Manage stress better is on my goal. Like I had mentioned, 2021 was the most stressful year of my life.
Sure.
By far, with everything that had happened. And it really showed me that I do not manage stress well at all.
Oh, okay.
Like it gets to me very easily.
Agreed.
Just when, like, even when somebody says something a little off, it can ruin my entire day. Type of stuff. And I do know that like I need to learn more patience. And it's something that I see in as I get older and as other people I know that get older, like patience just goes out the window. Like
Sure.
like it is non-existent anymore. And that's something that I need to learn to be more patient.
You know what? I can kind of see that because I feel like as I've gotten to the age I'm at, I'm less likely to deal with other people's shit. Not that I have a lack of patience, but I'm just like, oh, you have an issue? You should do something about that. Leave me out of it. I'll give you what I feel, and then that's it. And then I'm done with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
But like for me personally, like when I'm dealing with like my kids or something like that, like having a lack of patience is not a good thing.
Right.
It's not a good thing. So like that's something that I definitely want to make a priority is that I need to handle stress better. I need to find more patience for certain things. This one comes with living in Florida, and especially with everything that happened in 2021 to me, like I need to make fun a priority because
Ooh, okay.
I feel like, and this kind of comes off the heels of like we're filming today, the day after Christmas.
Right.
It is also the 1 year anniversary after losing Brody.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about losing Brody a lot on the last on the year recap
The year.
from
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
and it just kind of it reminds you that life is short.
Yeah.
Even for the best of us,
Mm-hmm.
life is short, and so it's important to remember that we are only here for a little bit of time. So
Mm-hmm.
make fun a fucking priority.
Yeah.
Make it so that you're at least attempting to do something fun. You have something fun lined up, because if you don't, life will just fucking slip away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you have something fun lined up. So fun is going to be a priority. And then the last goal that I wrote down, and it kind of coincides with your goal, but you're fucking way more ambitious than I am. Um, I'm gonna say I'm gonna run at least one day every week.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Maybe
I
maybe I
picked up the
should do
routine
that.
of running this past year.
Mhm.
I was gonna do 3 days a week, but I'm like, I might want to go on vacation, so like let's not get
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I'm at least running one day a week,
Mm-hmm.
it'll make it so that I don't lose. If you don't run for a couple weeks, you're gonna lose that
Brother,
your fucking wind and shit.
I haven't run since 2015.
Brother, I will tell you this as someone who, for a decade,
Mm-hmm.
only ran on a treadmill,
Yeah.
and then moving to Florida, have only run outside.
Yeah.
I have more gains running outside than I did for a decade running on a treadmill.
Oh, sure. I believe it.
Running outside on the physical pavement around your neighborhood or wherever the fuck you're going to run is so much better for you than
Yeah.
any amount of time you spend on a treadmill. It is ridiculous. I run 2 miles outside and I get way more gains than I did for running an hour and a half on a treadmill that
Yeah.
I used to do every fucking day. So get outside is my advice.
Yeah, I can do that.
There you go. There you go. So that's it. I got to find a job, not lose a house, remodel a room, manage stress better, get more patience, make fun a priority, and run every week.
All right.
That's what I got. Because honestly, I don't know what's going to happen.
Figure out a way to measure some of those.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
So some of them are hard to measure.
Yeah,
I know, but
that'll be important because you want to have something that you can work towards with it.
yeah,
Some kind of metric. Break it down.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, we're not going to be here next week, or the week after the airing of the show.
Well, I'm not going to be here.
Well, you're not going to
You're
be
going to
here.
be here.
But I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring on Blakely K.
Way.
Because we got something fucking fun to start off the new year on this show. We ain't stopping, folks.
No.
So it ain't going to be a normal brain wreck, but you are going to have Jason Axe, you're going to have Blakely K, and we have a game to play with all of you, which we're hoping is going to be fun. We don't know. We're going to trial and error it, but like
there you go.
I'm just saying you're not going to want to miss it. This is all I'm going to say.
Right on. Well, yeah, so be sure that you are subscribed to this channel. We do this show each and every Thursday night. We've got another show, Don't Be an Asshole. It's the internet's favorite game show that airs each and every Thursday night, 10, 9 Central. That's the show where we read Am I the Asshole stories from Reddit. We judge them, and we try to crown a new royal asshole each and every week. And this week's episode is the year-end wrap-up. So
year-end wrap.
Be on the lookout for that. And then we start fresh. A new crop of assholes, freshly grown, freshly plucked.
We use baby wipes to start the new year.
Wiping away all this shit, that's for sure.
That's right.
So be sure you're subscribed to this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us know that you're there. And hit that notification bell so that way you know when we've got new content dropping and when we go live. So,
and it's going to drop 2022.
I've got
all the content.
Yeah. Oh, I scrolled over the wrong screen there.
Starting off great.
Trying to find my cursor. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got. All right. Well, for this week and for this year, I've been Jason Axe.
I'm Kevin Graham.
It has been your show.
Peace.